All right, we're back with our next installment on our list of the top 25 SEC football players for the year 2009, and we're going to do number 16 through 20. Now, starting with number 20, and you probably already know this because it was already in the paper, John Jerry, the Ole Miss tackle. And Robbie, one reason people have Ole Miss way up in the, they've got a lot of guys coming back. They lost some players, but guys like John Jerry and some of the others, people are excited about this Ole Miss team this year.
Oh yeah, it's a talented team, and they're really strong on the line of scrimmage. The defensive line caused Florida all kinds of problems last year. So they've got good linemen, they've got skill position players, and they've got the quarterback. So they're going to be a tough team to beat.
Like their coach a lot too.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, Jerry's a really good player, and I think that the only thing I wonder though about this Ole Miss team, Robbie, are they this year's Georgia? Last year Georgia, everybody loved Georgia. Joe loved Georgia. Yeah. Expectations got to them. Injuries didn't help either. But it'll be interesting to see how Ole Miss handles it. Everybody's got them in their top 10s.
The one reason I think they can handle it is they have a great quarterback.
They do.
And nobody else in the West does, do they? There's a lot of inexperience. No. Alabama, LSU,
Auburn. I don't even know who's going to play there.
Yeah, so I'm thinking great teams have great quarterbacks, and Ole Miss is the one team in the West that has one.
Yep, you're right. Number 19 is a big guy. His name is Terrence Cody from Alabama. And Robbie, some people would have him higher on this list. I see him as a one-dimensional guy. And he's very good.
He just pushes people. He caves in the offensive line, which is a great thing to do.
It is, and he is very good for what they need him to do. But I'm not sure he's a guy who can play every down. I don't think he's a third down guy unless it's 3rd and 1.
But the word is, though, Pat, that he's had a big summer.
Lost some weight.
Lost weight and in much better condition. And you know, we saw him in the championship game. He is just tough to get out of. Get out of there.
It's tough to move out of there. In my opinion, he's been overrated. But he's got a chance to show me he's not this year. But I think 19 is right around right for him.
That's a good spot for him.
Some people would have him higher.
A good spot for the big guy.
Yeah, for the number 8 guy. He might eat you if you're not careful. I mean, he's number 18, Micah Johnson, the linebacker of Kentucky. Micah Johnson better have a good year. They've lost, obviously, Jeremy Jarman. That was a blow to this team that had a lot of momentum going. But Micah Johnson is one of those big linebackers, 256 pounds. He can really explode on you. I liked watching him play. Now, obviously, when he played Florida last year, nothing worked for them, so you can't blame him.
But he's another example of how Rich Brooks has improved the talent level at Kentucky, especially on defense. They were so bad on defense a few years ago they couldn't stop anybody, and now they're pretty strong.
Number 17 on this list, Charles Scott at LSU. Now, Charles Scott was taking the SEC by storm last year and then kind of faded as LSU faded. Now, did LSU fade because he faded, or did he fade because LSU faded down the stretch? I'm not sure I know the answer. Yeah, but he's a guy who I think we talked earlier about Brandon LaFell needs good quarterback play. So does Charles Scott. He's not Herschel Walker.
Yeah, you're going to get 8 men in the box if they can't throw the ball. But this is a guy that is great between the tackles, and he's T35.
Yeah.
But he also has the speed to get outside. I just think he's a kind of a total package in there.
They got to figure out how to use him the right way. Yeah. And obviously a lot's going to depend on how well their quarterback plays. But he's a guy that can really do a lot of good things for him, and they need him to. They need to figure it out. And Les Miles is a good coach. I think he's a good coach. I think he will.
Like any back in this league, though, if you don't have a quarterback that can throw the ball, your numbers are going to be bad.
Yeah, exactly. And it's going to be interesting. We'll get into that at some future date. But the quarterbacking in this league, is it going to get better? Or is it going to just be a struggle? It wasn't good last year. Number 16 on our list of the top 25 SEC players in 2009, Malcolm Shepard, big DT at Arkansas. And I tell you, I remember him in the Florida game this year just caving in some situations there. He's really talented, and that team is kind of the sleeper team over in the West.
Oh yeah, and he's a guy that you can't move out of there either. He's a little bit like Terrence Cody in that regard.
A little more athletic.
Yeah.
A lot more athletic.
In a lot better shape. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, Arkansas always has 1 or 2 linemen that really just jump out at you.
I know, it's
amazing.
Offense,
defense, both sides.
So that's 16 through 20 in our top 25 SEC players for 2009. We'll come back next time, 11 through 15. We're getting near number 1. See you next time. Robbie, Andreu, Pat Dooley.